You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
All right. Well, that was bumpy, just like the Dodgers tonight. Not a whole lot of fun to watch that game. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers off. Rather lackluster performance at the plate. Tonight's postcast is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more right now. New customers get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. The Rockies coming into this game are not quite the last place team that we would like to see right now, as the Dodgers are still trying to get back on track and find their way and get on a nice roll. I mean, a sweep of the Mets is nice. The Mets were unraveling and we caught them at a very good time, and the Dodgers have been very good at Citi Field. But coming into this one, the Mets, who now have 21 wins versus 35 losses and just 8 wins on the road. That sounds like the Angels at home. I guess they wish they could have 8. 8-21 for the Rockies on the road after tonight's 4-1 win. But here's the bigger, more important number. They've won 5 of their last 7, and they've taken series from both the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians, who are 2 very, very good teams, right up there, best in baseball record-wise. So the Dodgers have got their hands full tonight. Then we look at the starting pitchers. Walker Buehler comes in off of a great outing versus Daniel Hudson, who is a dumpster fire. 1-7 coming into tonight's game. Gave up 4 hits and 1 run, 3 Ks. Dodgers couldn't hit him. Couldn't make anything happen. Got into the 8th inning and got some guys on, loaded the bases. All right, here we go. They did that twice in New York against the Mets, loaded the bases in the 8th. Almost like that's how they drew it up. Let's get to the 8th inning and win it late. And then double play ball for Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman with a K swinging. He was a day and a half late on that ball. You look at the top 3 in the lineup, and it's funny. It really is. It's frustrating. The bottom of the lineup doesn't go well, Dodgers lose. Top of the lineup doesn't go well, Dodgers lose. So it's almost as if either one of them has an off night, and it seems like it goes in bunches. When the top of the lineup is off, bottom of the lineup is on, and vice versa. But the top of the lineup, it's very rare that one guy just has a night off. Like tonight, no hits for Betts, Ohtani, and Freeman. 1 hit for Will Smith. So the top 4 in the lineup, 1 hit between them in 19 at bats. So you got to have more than that. Shohei Ohtani 0 for, Mookie Betts 0 for, and with the bases loaded too. Ground ball right at the shortstop. And then Freddie Freeman came in after a walk, runner on third still, base hit, would have scored at least 1 swinging K. That was just like, oh, come on, Freddie. I mean, he was a day and a half late. So like, I'm thinking now, is he right back in that slump? He had a nice, series in New York at Citi Field against the Mets, and he's been completely absent of late. Let's see what over his last 7 games, 24 at bats, 1 run, 8 hits. So that goes back to the New York series. But the last couple of games, He was 0 for 4 in the finale when the Dodgers, he was the only one, remember, that didn't get on base when they beat the Mets 10-3. He was 0 for, and then 0 for tonight. So he's 0 for his last 8. So I don't know if that's necessarily quite a slump. It's still Freddie Freeman, though, trying to find his way with a 286 batting average and a 452 slugging percentage, 390 on base percentage. I'd like to see that OPS higher. It's just not enough. Shohei Ohtani starting to come back to earth, still batting 326 with a 607 slugging, and his OBP is 393. Mookie Betts at 326 after the 0 for 4 day. But all in all, I thought Buehler was okay. I thought they were giving him a little too much heat early in the game. He struck out the side in the first to get out of a jam, did it all on fastballs, 4-seamers. But they were saying, I felt like he was a little off. He was hitting his spots fairly well, but then would, bury a curveball or a slider in the dirt. So he was a little off. He was a little wild. And consequently, it didn't turn out to be one of his better outings. He went 6, though. That's nice. Ate up some innings, gave up 3 runs, 3 earned runs, 4 runs in total on 6 hits, walking 4 and striking out 7. And he mixed it up for the most part. As I said, 4-seamers in the first inning, then a handful of sinkers later for strikeouts. But all in all, it just wasn't quite enough. The Rockies did it mostly in, they got a single from Chris Bryant in the 3rd, and then another single from Rogers. That made it 3-0. And then Tovar homered in the 4th. So in the 3rd and the 4th, they put up their 4 runs, and that would be it. But it felt like the Dodgers had some life, had some energy, but it just wasn't enough. And that's because the top of the lineup was not feeling it tonight, just not in this game. What does Roy have to say? Can't Buehler work on his pitches in AAA? I know some folks will say not the same as the big league. I still say let him work out his stuff in AAA and stop throwing away games. I know not happening. I know that's not happening. Yeah, you're probably right. And the answer to your question is, Roy, not really. It's just a different energy, and it feels like Buehler is there. He's back for the most part, but not quite. I understand what you're saying. But I think if you run him down to AAA, it's going to be steps back. The competition level is just different. And when they're at the AAA level, something always seems to happen that these guys are trying to prove themselves always. But when it's against a major leaguer, it's to a different level. So it's almost like they get a higher level of competition at the AAA level than they do at the at the major league level. So I think you just got to throw him in there and deal with it and hope that the offense shows up. Again, he wasn't terrible today. He was okay. The Dodgers just didn't do anything at the plate. 5 hits, striking out with the bases loaded and nobody out, hitting into double plays. It's just, anemic. We need more. The offense is still just kind of all over the place. It's this tidal wave of home runs and base hits and, beating people up in the late innings against subpar teams. And then this happens against a subpar team. And I know the Rockies are hot right now, but Daniel Hudson is not hot. 1-7, worst in the major leagues. A 5.02 ERA. So I feel like the Dodgers just needed to do more. I don't agree. Nando agrees with Roy. Buehler needs more rehab starts. I don't think so. I just don't think that's going to help. I don't think that's going to do it. His stuff is not that bad. It's okay. He just ran into a team that was kind of hot tonight. So I don't know. I feel like the comp that you get at the major league level is you can't get that at AAA. I don't believe that would be helpful to him at this stage of his rehab return. I don't know what would be. Again, he went 6. They didn't wear him out. How many pitches did he throw? 92. His ERA is 4.32. Walking 4 is not great. I mean, I guess that's the point. You could argue that he was a little wild tonight. All right, we'll get back into Buehler's performance, and we'll get to the Diamond Dogs list if we can break down some of the excitement in this 4-1 loss to the Rockies. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's postcast is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. It is winner take all time in the NBA and the NHL. Of course, the NBA finals are set. Boston taking on Dallas. In the NHL, we are getting closer. The Edmonton Oilers grab a 3-2 series lead on the Dallas Stars with a 3-1 win tonight. So both of those NHL conference finals are still going on, as is FanDuel's availability, giving you a shot to bring home some big wins of your own. Right now, new customers to FanDuel get $150 in bonus bets with any winning $5 bet. That's $150 to bet on spreads, money lines, player props, and a whole lot more. Visit FanDuel.com/lockedon and make every playoff shot count. FanDuel, America's #1 sports book. Dodgers fall to the opener, in the opener to the Rockies at the Ravine 4-1. Again, Walker Buehler suffers the loss. He's now 1-3, went 6, giving up 4 runs, 3 earned on 6 hits, 92 pitches, striking out 7. I think that's the thing that makes me feel like he's not that far off. He's still getting strikeouts. He just needs to hone it in a little bit. And you can't expect any pitcher really to go out there and win every start. Got to get some offense to back him up. And the Dodgers didn't quite get that tonight, especially early in the game. There was just nothing going on in the first 5 or 6 innings. As for the Diamond Dogs list, Andy Paez got the first hit of the game. It was a 2-out single to right field. Whoa! Andy Paez going with the ball, and the pitch was down and away. Like to see that. I'm encouraged by his development. I feel like he is growing and hitting the ball the other way nicely, shortening up his swing a little bit, trying to work the count, trying to get on base. That was nice to see. So first hit of the game came in the 3rd inning for the Dodgers. As for number 4, Will Smith, a single to center in the 4th inning, came on an 0-1 sinker. Gavin Lux had an infield single in there for the 3rd hit of the game. As for number 3, it was Gavin Lux, a leadoff double in the 8th to get things going. He hit it down the line to left field. It also came on a sinker. Again, it was his 2nd hit of the night. As for number 1, it was Andy Paez. A single bleeder to load the bases in the 8th. So 2 hits for him on the night is nice to see. I don't think anybody really deserved to have a game-changing moment. Ultimately, I kind of left one off, kind of threw Gavin Lux in there as an honorable mention because he had a couple of hits in this game. That was nice to see as he continues to square the ball up, put it in play, get the job done. Bottom of the lineup again, producing more than the top of the lineup did tonight. Again, 2 hits for Lux, 2 hits for Paez. Miggy Rojas was 0 for 2, and they threw a stat out at the beginning of the game. When Miggy Rojas has a hit of any kind for the Dodgers, they are 16-0. If he has an RBI, they're like 11-0. And if he scores a run, it's like 8-0. So basically, that's all just random baseball stat circumstance. It doesn't mean anything. I don't believe if Miggy Rojas had a hit tonight, the Dodgers would have won this game. I think that stat would have been 16-1. It is interesting to note that when Miggy Rojas hits the ball and gets on base, the Dodgers seem to play pretty well. And it also helps the bottom of the lineup. He's batting .277. He's been very good for the Dodgers. They had him playing third base tonight. I like to see that. They have definitely struggled a little bit. It appears that they are missing Max Muncy. I had his average a little bit higher. I thought he was up around 250. He's more like 225. But he's just a guy that puts the ball in play, makes things happen, hits home runs. I believe that the Dodgers will improve and will benefit from the return of Max Muncy, which they say is about 2 weeks away. 2 to 3 weeks away. That's what they've said about him and Evan Phillips and what's his name? Brazier, all these, Joe Kelly, all these guys are kind of right around the corner, a couple of weeks away. Yeah, my internet is bad tonight, Craig. I am sorry. I don't know what's happening. It's just random. It's like the Dodgers offense comes and goes. There's nothing I can do about it. I apologize. It is what it is. It's plugged in. It's not Wi-Fi. I am plugged into the hard line. I'm doing it the fastest way possible. So again, I apologize, guys, that my internet is apparently a little shaky. And Roy is asking, you need folks to hit the like button. Okay. Roy says hit the like button. And I guess I'll second that. Please hit the like button. However, I don't know how to do that. If you can explain to me how to hit the like button, I will tell people how to do it. I guess you probably see something that I don't see. So if you would hit the like button. That would be greatly appreciated. Make Roy happy. And that would be good. I like to keep our regulars in the chat happy. Craig's internet is coming in now. No, mine was all choppy too at the beginning of the show, Craig. Did you say Muncy puts the ball in play? Have you seen him with runners in scoring position? Look, let's be honest, Roy. I did say he puts the ball in play. I think he's a battler, and there's a reason that guy gets into the lineup. He doesn't put up big numbers with regard to batting average, but he definitely puts the ball in play and hits home runs and is a fairly clutch hitter, right? He strikes out a lot too. It's gotten better this year. Let's be honest about that. So yes, they miss him. There's no doubt. The mainly because the guys that have been filling in for him at third base were like 8 of 60 or something. And that's only because Kike Hernandez had a couple of hits last time he was over there. Before that, it was like 6 of 40. I threw those notes away. I don't remember, but it was awful. It was just a paltry batting average. So yeah, Max Muncy's numbers are not great, but he is a battler, and I like that about him. I feel like the Dodgers have too many guys that are first pitch swinging, not being selective, not working the count. These guys are just, high paid guys that, yeah, they want to win. I'm not trying to say they're up there not trying to win. They're definitely trying to win. But it feels like at times they just don't care. We're still going to win the West. It's fine. And if we get swept by the Rockies, it's fine. We'll still be in first place. I feel like that emotion kind of just permeates through this staff, this roster, when they put a performance like this. Like they're just like, whatever, long way to go. It's fine. We're going to be fine. Not to worry. It feels like this would be a game that if I was there, I'd be frustrated, especially as a fan. If I was there in the press box working, I would be kind of like, oh, when is this game going to be over? Because it was just dragging, just nothing happening. No fight in the dog at all until the 8th inning. And then just an absolute wet the bed, right? Hit into a double play. Now, Mookie is a guy you can never get on Mookie Betts for not coming through, because he comes through all the time. Super clutch, great hitter. So not going to do it every single night. That was one where I felt like he could have worked that count a little better and done a little bit more, found a better pitch potentially. I don't know. It just felt like it happened all too fast and hits into a double play. And then Freddie Freeman, just the strikeout from Freeman was just so ugly and late. It was terrible. Like that was an ugly swing. Shohei Ohtani was terrible as well. Grounded out to second, lined out to second, struck out swinging, and walked. So at least he got on base. What did Freeman? Grounded out to second, flied out to left, and then struck out swinging when it all mattered. So it just feels like this team, when they lose like this, it's not like it feels like they had any shot of winning. It feels like they were just going through the motions, getting paid. It's early, not the dog days yet, not a period of time where if we lose, it really matters all that much. And I just don't love that emotion. I would love to see a little bit more fight. Kind of like the Angels have right now. They have a little bit of fight. They're still terrible, especially at home. But on the road, they put up a little gumption. They lost tonight to the Mariners 5-4, but they were battling. They're fighting. They're like a young team that seems to want it a little bit and could be good down the road. Right now, they're terrible. Once Artie Moreno sells the team, they'll be good again. Not right now. Dodgers are obviously going to be good. They'll be fine, but I just don't like watching these games. I'm sorry. I don't sit there and go, yes, this is fun. I love this. I'm just like, come on. We need more. Where are you guys? What are you doing? You had a day off yesterday. How can you be so listless? You need some Lucille Ball's Vita Vegemin. They run down and listless. That's what the Dodgers are. Run down and listless. Mr. Seabad says the Rockies are a very strange team, very inconsistent, but when they put it together, they play great. Yeah, they do. It's got to be tough playing at Coors Field. That is just it's a tough place to play. The fact that they've ever been good and made the World Series and made playoff runs is just remarkable, because finding people that are capable of being successful as pitchers in Denver is nearly impossible. And I think that's why Bud Black still has his job. This team's been terrible for a long time, and Bud Black has been there through it all. They're just like, yeah, he's our guy. We are riding and dying with Bud Black. It does not matter. If this team's good, if this team's bad, yeah, Bud Black is going to be here until he either retires or croaks. One of the two. Great guy, by all accounts. Everyone says he's awesome. Good friends with Dave Roberts. He must be a great guy. He must have befriended everybody in the front office, the general managers, the owner, or general manager, the owners, whoever, all the powers that be, because this guy is just not going anywhere. I'm going to look up Bud Black's record after the break, because I'm just curious. I just am blown away. I mean, I think that's cool that he's had some longevity. I hate to see people get fired, but in this game, professional sports, I don't feel bad for people when they get fired. Like, oh, so sad he got fired. It's not sad. These guys make a crap ton of money, and when they get fired, they're still getting paid for 3 or 4 years at the end of the contract, and they've made so much money that they are going to be fine. It's not like when you and I get fired from a job where we make 50 or 60,000 a year, right? It's totally different. The amount of money that they're able to rack up over a short career is good for the rest of their life. It is life-changing money. So don't feel bad when a manager or a general manager or a coach gets fired. They're fine. They're going to be fine. Even like the hitting coach or the pitching coach, when those guys get fired, they're going to be fine. All right, this is the Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. I am Pete Fox. We'll take the final break and come back. Tonight's show also brought to you by Stitch Fix. Stitch Fix is sweet. I wish I would have printed the script in bigger font because I can barely read it again. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need new glasses. You know that feeling that you get of instant confidence when you get new clothes? It happens to me all the time. It's kind of like you just feel taller, thinner, handsomer, smarter, all of those things. Well, that's the boost you get when you get a new outfit that makes you feel really good. You can do it with Stitch Fix. With Stitch Fix, you get a stylist who understands your style, size, and more importantly, your budget. They do all the shopping for you. It is the easiest way to update your wardrobe this year. Easily upgrade your wardrobe this year with a professional stylist that helps you find new and on-trend favorites that will work for you. So they ask you a bunch of questions. What do you like? Are you a jeans guy? Are you a khaki guy? Are you a collared shirt guy? Are you a t-shirt guy? Are you a hooded shirt guy? What are you? So they find out what you like, and then they pick out stuff for you, and they even find your coloring and all these other things, because sometimes certain colors don't work on you. Like, for example, tonight may look like I'm wearing a white shirt, but it's not. It is lime green, and lime green may not work on everybody, but if they send you something in lime green and you absolutely hate it, guess what? Here's the good part. You don't have to pay for it. You can send it back. Shipping, returns, and exchanges are always free. Style that makes you feel as good as you look. Get started today with stitchfix.com/lockedon. That's stitchfix.com/lockedon. stitchfix.com/lockedon. All right, Dodgers fall to the Rockies 4-1. Rockies have won 5 of their last 7, including series wins over the Philadelphia Phillies and the Cleveland Guardians. So let's hope the Dodgers, who have the best record in the National League, do not fall prey to that as well. All right, we got Bud Black's career numbers up here. He is, as a manager, 1,145 wins versus 1,304 losses. That is a .468 winning percentage. That dates back to his time with the Padres in 2007. So last year, 59-103, 22, 68-94, 21, 74-87. Closest they got to 500 in a while was the COVID year, 26-34, 71-91 in 19. In 18, they were 500. That's the last time they were good. 91-72, 558. And then the year before that, 17, they were 87-75. So he's had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing seasons in a row since he joined the Rockies in 2017, but it feels like he's been there forever. I'm like, it's only been 2017. I feel like that guy's been there for 15 years. And that's because he was with the Padres and they were losing like terribly when he was there. 14, 77 and 85, 13, 76 and 86, 12, 76 and 86. Boy, that's got to be frustrating when you have a 76 and 80 season, 76 and 86 season, and then you back it up with another 76 and 86 season, 71 and 91 and 11. And in 2010, they were 90 and 72. So he's had 3 winning seasons, 2010, yet and still has a job. So kudos to him. Kudos to him. What else can we dig into here tonight? Is there anything else that we need to touch on? Mr. Seabad says, you bench Freddie again or he'll get upset and throw his glove into the stands. Yeah, how about that? Did you guys hear that story that the guy that got tossed out of the game against the Mets, what was his name? Sanchez, Rodriguez, Jorge was his first name. Anyway, he tossed his fan and glove into the stands during that rally from the Dodgers in the 8th and 9th inning against the Mets in the 10-3 win. They put up, what they put up 8 in the 6. They put up 6 in the 8th inning. And what was his name? Jorge Lopez. He was mad that the third base umpire didn't call a check swing. So they tossed him out of the game. He throws his glove into the stands, pulls out his jersey, is all pissed off, goes into the bench, sits down. Then after the game, basically doubles down on Dom and owns all of it. Like, yeah, if they want to get rid of me, that's fine. I'm healthy. I'm here. I'm ready to pitch. And guess what they did? They DFA'd him. They're like, you're either going to be released or you're going to AAA. We don't stand for that. So he was kind of like, that's fine. Whatever. Somebody will pick me up. And he's probably right. Middle relievers, they're a dime a dozen. And if you're healthy, somebody will find a spot for you as long as your numbers are halfway decent. And his ERA is 3.76. It's not like he's got some, bloated ERA. I just thought that was, that kind of stings, that little meltdown cost him his job, at least for the time being. So that was funny to see. At least the Dodgers won that one. Tonight, though, not much of anything to really feel good about. A 4-1 loss. I think if I had to say the bright spot of this game, really the bottom of the lineup. That's it. The bullpen was okay. Bottom of the lineup with 4 hits, 2 for Pages, 2 for Lux. Beyond that, there was nothing really going on. I think Will Smith still swinging the bat well. Got a base hit. And then got beat by the Marine Layer on one that probably should have been a home run. He squared that one up and it was basically to the track. I mean, just in front of the wall. I think that if it was a little earlier, a little warmer, that is a home run. But the Dodger bullpen, Banda was fine, zeros, 1 walk and 1 K. Ramirez gave up 1 hit, 1 walk over an inning and 2/3. So that was nice to see. And Vesia, just 1/3 of an inning, zeros across the board. So the bullpen was fine. Tonight was about the offense, especially the top of the lineup. Just didn't do enough to get it done, especially in clutch spots. So game 1 to the Rockies. We'll come back and get them tomorrow. Dodgers fall 4-1 tonight. They're now 36-23, 19-12 at home, while the Rockies improve to 21-35 and 8-21 on the road. That cannot feel good if you're a Rockies fan. Tomorrow night, or maybe Sunday, we're not really sure. We're going to do the crossover. So I'll be co-hosting with the Rockies postcast host. Probably tomorrow, maybe Sunday. We'll see. But either way, we'll be here talking Rockies Dodgers. So please make sure you join us. Thank you for joining me tonight. I am Pete Fox. I always appreciate the comments. You can watch us on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And you can listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. We will talk again tomorrow after game 2 against the Rockies. Have a good night and enjoy the start of your weekend tomorrow and tonight. Talk to you later.